Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Dash, and I'm on the DevRel team here at Snowflake. And I'm so excited to have Evan and Melanie join us for this session that's going to tell you all about the course that we have for Snowpark and how you work with it and things like that. So with that, I'm going to introduce Melanie and Evan. Melanie, did you want to say a couple of things about yourself?
Sure. Hi there, everyone. My name is Melanie Klein. I am a technical curriculum engineer here at Snowflake. So, what I do is I design and develop our instructor led training courses, such as our Snowpark course. And I have been with Snowflake for just over a year. So, welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Awesome. Evan?
My name is Evan Troik, and I'm an instructor at Snowflake. I am soon will reach my 3-year mark, about 2 years and 9 months in. And I'm a senior instructor. I also help write this course with Melanie.
Great. I know everyone's excited. I'm excited. So the way it's going to work is, Melanie, you and I will chat for a little bit. We'll let our audience know everything about this course, get them excited, and then we'll have a demo that Evan's prepared for us. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. So Melanie, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go. So let's
All
start
right.
with, let's tell everyone what Snowpark is.
Okay, all right, we'll start out with that. So, what is Snowpark? Well, first and foremost, it's a developer toolkit, and it is intended to bring data programmability directly into Snowflake. So, you're doing the programmability with the data where it resides. I think that it's a frictionless option for you developers who are using Snowflake, using the programming languages and tools that you already know and love. The analogy I like to use for Snowpark is that it's a three-legged stool because there's three main components to it. There's the data frame API, stored procedures, and user-defined functions. The data frame API, which is what we really focus on in this course, it allows for you to programmatically build data pipelines, perform data transformations, and you can do that using familiar languages such as Python, Scala, and Java. And all of this code that you write in your familiar language gets translated to Snowflake SQL under the covers. And it actually gets executed within your Snowflake virtual warehouse, right where the data resides. And in addition to the data frame API, we also have stored procedures and user-defined functions. Again, you can write those in those familiar languages that you all love, Python, Scala, and Java. And you can execute your custom code within these automated secure sandboxes that are within your Snowflake virtual warehouse, again, right where the data lives, using those languages that you love.
That's great.
Mhm.
Well, why does it matter? Why
Why
do you
does
think
Snowpark?
people care? Yeah.
Yeah. So previously, your ability to use your organization's data residing within Snowflake most often required you to code in SQL, or
Mhm.
perhaps use one of the connectors that we have, like the Python connector. But for the developers who prefer or have a need to program in another language, such as Python, Scala, Java, Snowpark opens up your organization's data to you, um, with the additional benefits, such as performance from lazy evaluation, that we cover in this course.
Mhm.
For data scientists, for example, it opens up also some opportunities to build and train machine learning models on all of your rich data right within Snowflake. And Snowpark enables you to utilize the power of Snowflake's virtual warehouse. It provides great performance, scalability, and security. Of course, that's always a big concern for us, as well as ease of use because it's just right there within your Snowflake virtual warehouse. No additional overhead to manage or administer that. Additionally, with Python, Snowpark Python, it's supercharged with our partnership with Anaconda, providing direct support for hundreds of the world's most popular packages.
I see. So if the partnership with Anaconda, Um, correct me if I'm wrong. Does that help with installing all the packages and also its dependencies?
Absolutely, absolutely. It makes all of that just so much more simplified and streamlined, less of a headache for developers.
So basically, you don't have to worry about installing the right versions and things like that. All of that is managed automatically by the Conda manager. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool because, uh, as many of us know, working with a lot of Python libraries, you have to deal with so many different things, including versions, dependencies that every package may have, and things like that. So that's pretty awesome. That's all included as part of the Snowflake Anaconda channel.
Yes.
So about the core, back to the course again. Do I need to know anything? Are there any prerequisites for the course? Things like that.
Yeah, that's a good question. So in terms of prerequisites, well, the first thing that I will say is that it's a fast-paced course because it's one day and there's lots to cover. So we do dive right in. So we want everyone to be expecting that, know to be ready for a lot of learning, a lot of knowledge to be gained in one day. And above all, we do consider this a programming course. So some basic proficiency in a programming language, Python, Java, or Scala, is important for success in this course. And in addition to that, it is good to have a working knowledge of Snowflake and database objects coming into this course as well. One other thing I would say is that this course pairs really nicely with, as an add-on, with some of our other persona-based courses that we have here in educational services, such as our data engineering course or our data science course.
Great. And then do I need to install Snowpark or anything else on my machine for this course?
Actually, for this course, there's no setup required prior to class. We really like to ensure that all of our students have the same experience and are set up for success with our course and are all able to participate in all of the activities that we have planned. So we have curated a virtual lab environment that students have access to. They have access to it for a full 30 days, starting on the first day of class. And as you will see coming up here in Evan's demo, it's a Jupyter Lab environment. It's virtual, and it includes installations of everything you'll need to practice using Snowpark, including Snowpark Python and Snowpark Scala kernels. So it's all set up for you to be able to run your Snowpark code in a notebook-based environment with no installation needed prior, just your web browser.
That's awesome. And then can I also use something like Visual Studio Code instead of Jupyter Lab for the course?
For the course, we do recommend that you do everything within the virtual lab environment, but you will be given these materials to take home with you. And so the notebooks, if you prefer to use Visual Studio Code or some other IDE, you can absolutely use them in your preferred IDE as well. At that point, though, you will have to make sure you get everything installed on your machine in order to use it.
That's awesome. And so that's a great overview of the course. It sounds amazing. Why should anyone pay for this course?
Good question. Yeah, so the value of this course. Well, I think that it is it's a really good experience. Our instructors are very experienced, and they actually have programming backgrounds themselves. Evan, as well as many of our other instructors do. They're Snowflake experts, and they also know your world with that programming background. So you get that very in tune with your world experience with the instructor. In addition to that, as I kind of mentioned, you also get that 30-day access to our lab environment, as well as a Snowflake account that's loaded with sample data along with that Jupyter Lab environment. So you have all of that starting with the first day of class and then also for 30 days, so you can continue to practice and learn with this Snowflake environment that is kind of like a sandbox for you to use, as opposed to trying it out in your organization's production environment or anything like that you wouldn't want to do. And our course is filled with examples that should be applicable to your organization's use cases. It has all the labs and lectures, plus a wealth of appendices. They are going to be provided to our students as Jupyter notebook files that you get to take with you after class. So you'll have all these materials to refer to. They have explanations of concepts, as well as throughout everything, a bunch of executable code examples that you can always refer to and run and try out yourself. Also, I think that this one-day course is quicker than free training for getting you up to speed on Snowpark. When you are doing self-guided learning, you can get stuck or slowed down because you don't know what you don't know. So with this course, the instructor's guidance really removes that barrier. They can provide you with all the technical details you need to know to jump in and start working in Snowpark. But in addition to that, all those details, they'll provide you with that framework to help you understand the bigger picture too. And so you'll understand the big picture and how all those smaller details fit together. You'll be set up to get going with Snowpark so quickly and with this approach. And I think you'll leave with a really strong conceptual understanding. It'll make it easy for you to keep learning more about Snowpark and to get more out of all those, additional free resources after the fact. Last thing I would say in terms of what this course really has to offer is that it's very hands-on. You'll be stepping through code from the very first lecture at the start of the day all the way through to the end with a number of hands-on labs that you get to do. So it's not just someone talking to you, you are along for the ride and participating the whole way through.
Right, that's awesome. I think that answers some of the questions that are coming through from our audience regarding the course, the free versions of it, and also what extra benefits there are for signing up for this course. Thanks, Melanie. And then, so how does someone get the most out of this course? Like, what are your some top suggestions or recommendations?
Yeah, so my recommendations, if you want to take this course and get the most out of it, as I kind of mentioned before, you want to be ready for a full day, a fast-paced day, because it's one day, but we have a lot that we want to cover. We want to make sure that you are ready to go once this day is done. So be ready for that. Also be excited because it's going to be fun. And my personal favorite thing is I personally feel that snowflakes are a great group of people. I have loved working at Snowflake, and we're all really passionate about data. We really stand enthusiastically behind the products that we have to offer. And working with Snowflake instructors in an instructor-led training means that you get to experience that firsthand. So I think that's something to really look forward to if you take this course.
Awesome. So that's a great overview. Anything else you want to add before we move on to the demo by Evan?
Sure. I guess kind of some closing remarks would be, I think this training is just a fantastic gateway to open up the potential of your data, your organization's data within Snowflake. By the end of taking this course, you should feel comfortable interacting with Snowflake programmatically, enabling just like a whole world of new workloads, value potential for your organization.
Great. Thank you, Melanie. So Evan, you're up. Are you ready?
I am ready. Hi, I'm Evan, and I'm from sunny South Florida. And I'm having a bit of a bandwidth problem. So we have pre-recorded my demonstration for you. Dash is going to actually display it for you. I'll be around here to answer any questions that you have, the technical ones, and I'll leave all the logistics questions up to the others.
Awesome.
Take it, Dash.
Thank you, Evan. Just gonna go ahead and share my screen here really quick. Screen. This one. Okay. Do you guys see my screen?
There should be some elevator music or something going on.
Don't see your screen yet, Dash.
Okay. Try it one more time. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about this. Minimize and maximize this. Can you guys see my screen now?
I can see it.
Okay, great. Here we go.
Evan, and I'm going to be trading for you what your experience will be when you take our Snowflake Snowpark programming course. As the course, the instructor will provide for you the login credentials for a Snowflake account that you will be able to use for 30 days. This will be the Snowflake account you connect to from your Snowpark applications when you do the lab exercises. We won't be using the SnowSite UI very much during the one-day class. Primarily, we use it to look at the query history so that we can explore what was sent over from our Snowpark application to our Snowflake account as the translated SQL from our programmatic code. You'll also be provided with the login for a Jupyter Labs account that is also good for 30 days, starting the first day of class. It will take a few minutes for you to have the virtual machine start up, and we do recommend that you save your work each time you finish working with the Jupyter Labs environment, because there's no guarantee that your virtual machine might not re-provision sometime within the 30 days that you have access to the account. We wouldn't want you to lose any of your work. We'll distribute to you a zip file that will contain a bunch of IPython notebooks that you will load into your Jupyter Labs account. And when inside this zip file, you'll see that we have lab exercise notebooks, lecture exercise notebooks, and we even have a section of appendices. To make it easy to navigate through the notebooks, we have a table of contents that you can use, which follows the flow of the course with lecture and labs, and then contains links for the notebooks that give you extra information. What we don't cover in the class about Snowpark actually exceeds what we do cover because it is just a one-day class. So you can see here on the listing, we have a notebook on pandas. We have a notebook on how to do ingest. We have a notebook on doing DML with Snowpark. One of those notebooks is an FAQ. We've got questions that you might have about Jupyter interface, how to run cells in notebooks and manipulate them. We even have some Python and Snowpark specific questions covered in this FAQ. And often the FAQ will have screenshots to help you if you're not familiar with Jupyter Labs. We don't distribute a set of slides that we will use during the lectures for the class. The actual materials are built into the notebooks. One of the first exercises that you're going to do is you're going to set up key pair authentication so that when you work with these notebooks, you don't have to provide username and password every time you want to communicate with your Snowflake account. We give you all the code, we walk you through the steps, and when you're done, you'll be able to use key pair authentication to communicate with your Snowflake account. So as you're going through the course with the instructor, you might come across a diagram, an image, maybe some sample code. And the instructor will explain this concept, perhaps show you the syntax rules, and then be able to show you actual code that you can run. You can run this code along with the instructor as the class goes. This makes it very interactive, and it gives it kind of an organic feel to the delivery. As you're exploring the different parts of Snowpark, we provide you with code that you can run and you can modify. So when you get to a situation where you might say, okay, well, what if I were to do this? It's very easy to test that out. What would happen if I tried this? What if I changed that? Simple, just change it in the cell, run it, and see what happens. Maybe you'll get an error. Maybe you'll get some new information. But either way, it makes it very, very easy to explore and learn Snowpark at a very quick rate. Here's an example of us introducing how you would invoke a table function in Snowpark. So we give you some basic information about where the function comes from, how you would use it, what's the syntax to the function, what you would pass to it as arguments. We talk about what the function might return for you. And then again, we give you an example cell that you can use to test this. So here I'm simply taking some JSON, parsing it, and then flattening it programmatically. And if I were to desire to try something out, let's say we make recursive true here instead of false, we can change this, rerun the cell, and see how that might affect our output. At any time, we can return back to the query history, do a simple refresh on the page, and look to see what did Snowpark send to our Snowflake account. When you get to running the lab exercises, what you'll see is there's 2 notebooks for each exercise. One of those notebooks will be the instructions. So here, when we're exploring data transformations, you'll be given some instructions in notebook form, and you'll be given some pre-written code, as well as some placeholders where you are to supply the code to achieve the results of the exercise. A nice feature is that if you're stuck or if you're finished and you want to have something to compare it to, we also provide you with a solution notebook that will look very, very much like the instructions, except it will provide proposed code for that particular exercise. So you can provide the code, and then you can look to see how we coded a solution. I say a solution because there is no one answer to any programming assignment. We could have lots of different solutions, and they could all be correct. Perhaps you're not a Python person. Perhaps you prefer programming your Snowpark applications in Scala. Well, we have you covered. All of the notebooks, or most of the notebooks that are in the Python section of our distribution, also have a corresponding notebook in Scala form. So the Scala notebooks have a table of contents with links to notebooks that look very, very much like the Python notebooks, except, of course, the code is Scala instead of Python. So you're not required to actually follow along with the Python notebooks. You could follow along with the Scala notebooks. You have both. You have choices. You have options. Well, I hope you're excited about taking our Snowpark programming class, and perhaps I'll see you again.
Great. Thank you, Evan, so much for pre-recording this. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Okay, so we are back, correct? I just want to make sure.
Yep.
Do you have any questions that I may have missed in our chat from the audiences? I don't see any. Evan, did you want to add anything to the demo that you just presented in a recorded format?
Well, a couple of items. This is very fresh. You're getting very, very fresh information. Melanie and I stay on top of the APIs, and we're releasing updated versions regularly, because right now nothing is moving faster than technology, and Snowpark is definitely leading that way. Did want to mention that we do not have a Java version of our class, but we haven't had any real demand for it. So, you're more than welcome to work with the Java APIs on your own. You could even run from Jupyter Labs. You could run Java code if you want. We just don't have any kernels for it, so you'd need to set the class path and whatever yourself. And if I happen to be your instructor, well, I taught Java for like 15 years for Sun and then later for Oracle, so I'm probably going to be able to help you out, even though we don't have formal materials in that. That's about it.
Yeah, thanks, Evan. That's very insightful. Melanie, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I guess I just want to reiterate what I was saying later, because Evan really delivered on it. He knows his stuff. Our instructors know their stuff, and they are so ready and willing to help answer your questions and provide any clarity and guidance when you take these instructor-led courses that we have here at Snowflake. So I highly recommend it. And yeah, I hope some of you will join the training and maybe get to see Evan again for sure.
Can they learn more about this course anywhere else on our website, training page?
Yes, there is. I believe that we have a link. I don't know if it's been put into the chat yet, but we have a link with information on our training site where anyone can learn some more about it. It's got an outline with information about the course, as well as scheduling information and all of that.
That's great. One last question I have is, after they go through the course, if they have any questions and things like that, like how can they reach one of our instructors or one of you, for example?
Well, that's a great question. When you take the class, the instructor is going to reach out to you via email, and you just simply need to reply to that email if you're like having a problem, having an issue. I take it from experience here. Just replying back and saying, I'm having a problem, send, that's not a good way to start it off. But so screenshots, copy and paste error codes and stack traces, give the instructor anything you can to help them assess what problem you're having and get back to you. If the instructor can't address the issue, they'll find somebody who can.
That's awesome. And then last but not least, what about the promotion code that we have?
Yes, we do have a promotion code. It looks like, I don't think I would have remembered it myself, but Monica from our sales group, she's been busy in the chat answering questions. Thank you, Monica. So for any of you who've been listening here to us, make sure you take a look at the chat, because she has put a 10% off training promo code in the chat, as well as a link to the information on our training website about the course, information about it, as well as how to sign up for it. And it looks like that code is Snowpark 10 PCT, so Snowpark 10%.
And I believe that code is valid through end of March.
Yeah.
Great. I think we're right about out of time right now, but I just want to thank everyone for joining us today, and special thanks to Melanie and Evan for telling us all about the course.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Dash.
Yeah, thank you. All right, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.